Oh, hey everyone, it's me, Jason, and today I want to talk to you about one of the coolest use cases for conversational AI that I have not seen anyone implement or develop. Granted, it's super unethical, and I highly recommend that you do not develop this, but it could potentially get you a job. So if you're interested in getting a job, I don't know, stick around. One of the things that you get asked anytime you apply for a job, most jobs will require that you provide a professional reference. And this is fine, and it helps the employer basically get insights into who you are as a person. But if you are, if you've switched jobs a few times, maybe you didn't get along with your former manager, maybe there's no one at the company that's left that remembers you fondly for whatever reason. So getting a reference is actually extremely hard. Professional reference, and it's actually a barrier to a lot of people getting a job, because if you can't provide a professional reference, you're in trouble. And I even see things on Reddit. There's like forums and threads of people like exchanging, I'll be your professional reference if you be my professional reference. So the whole thing is kind of unethical. So why not take it one step further with conversational AI and create your own agent, your own AI agent that can act as a professional reference for you, that people can call on the phone, and that agent, which is a voice operated GPT-4o agent, whatever that is, that has general knowledge about your professional career, will answer in a very human-like voice and be your professional reference. And actually, it's ridiculously easy to do. And not that expensive, so I'm not sure why I don't see more ads for it on TikTok, for instance. Okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into ChatGPT or any one of the large language models. That pretty much do this the same. You're going to feed it your CV, any other information that it should know about you, personal information. You're going to give it a prompt, okay, and you're going to tell it basically what their role is, and that's part of the prompt. So in this case, I'm like, hello ChatGPT. I like to say hello to ChatGPT. I'd like you to act as though you are my former manager, and you can say that this person was your former manager at an existing company, or you can make that up, or you can say like, oh, this person was my manager at Enron, or this person was my manager at Radio Shack. I was the senior VP of R&D at Radio Shack. Just find a corporation that no longer exists that you can, In this case, I took a CEO from Disney or Meta, who you were my boss. And you will be providing a personal reference for Jason Gilbert. I've attached the CV. I'll start off by asking questions, and then all you need to do is respond as though you were my former manager. Do not hallucinate. Do not make stuff up. I don't know if that works. It's okay not to know everything, but make sure you give me a glowing review so that I can get the job. Okay? So that's the first thing. Okay? Then the first thing you do is you're going to create the AI agent. Okay? And then you can go and you can talk to the agent. And you're like, I've had the pleasure of closely working with Jason Gilbert for several years. During that time, he consistently impressed me with his creativity, leadership, and technical skills. Great. What are his weaknesses? While Jason is incredibly talented, like anyone, he has areas where he can grow. And all the LLMs, they always give perfectionism, or he takes on too much, stuff like that, whatever. That's not really a weakness. Does he work well with others? Absolutely. Jason works exceptionally well with others, and I'm sure that if you talk to any one of my current colleagues, they'll say this is true. What is an example of something that he did that impressed you? One standout example of Jason's work that really impressed me was during his time at In-Person Cocoa Hub. He was leading the creative process for a high-profile project that involved designing conversational flows for a Disney character. The project had a tight deadline, and the expectations from the client were incredibly high, blah, 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 blah. So it goes on and on and on. Okay, so that's part one. You've created this agent, and it's in text, so if they need a glowing reference letter you can just basically send them, or just ask ChatGPT to create a glowing letter on their behalf. But the next step, what do you want to do if you want to actually create a voice agent? Okay, so the next thing you do is you want to go to one of these companies that give you like an avatar. I went into Soul Machines, but you could just easily go into Synthesia, DID, any one of these companies where you can go ahead and create an avatar. You can customize the avatar. What you do is you customize the avatar, you give it, you feed it the prompt, you feed it the general knowledge database. I actually copied and pasted my entire CV. You can put your portfolio in there so that the agent has a better idea of who you are and what you're talking about. You can select the voice. I mean, I'm doing all of this basically on the free tier, but I'm sure that if I paid money, I could get more customization. I could make it sound much, much more human. And basically, I can pick the voice. I can pick the way the character looks. I can pick what they don't want to talk about. In this case, obviously, I don't want to talk about Scientology or Egyptology. Neither of those, both of those topics actually are off limits for this character. And you can make all these other custom choices, and in the end, what you have is an avatar that actually speaks on your behalf. And this avatar it has a knowledge base that is built on your CV, your portfolio. It knows what its role is. It's going to be a personal reference for Jason Gilbert, so any questions you ask it about Jason Gilbert, it's going to give you a very, hopefully, glowing review based on the information that's in the CV.
Jason's biggest weakness? He can be a bit of a perfectionist. He strives for excellence,
Wait, stop.
sometimes taking longer to finalize projects. But it fuels his creativity. Need more insights?
Okay, and so now you have a voice for that agent, you have the knowledge base, it has the brains, it is ready to do your bidding. The last step actually is a bit more complicated because there's not a lot of companies that do this as of the making of this video. I'm sure that 6 months from now, there's going to be dozens of these companies, if not hundreds, if not millions. The next thing you need to do is you actually need to connect it to a phone line. And we did this back in the day in Cocoa Hub. I'm Jason Gilbert, lead conversation designer here at Cocoa Hub. And what I'd like to demonstrate, giving your chatbot a phone number so that your customers, clients can call 24/7. Years ago, we connected an agent to a phone. You could call a phone and the agent would answer. Of course, it wasn't powered by these LLMs. So it was very clear that this was an AI agent because of the TTS, but now it's so advanced, it's really hard to tell. And you can see the example here. I picked a company called Bland.ai, and they show just an agent talking on one of their AI agents, and it sounds incredibly human. Of course, it says, I am an AI, but you can tell it not to say that it's an AI if you wanted to.
Industry across sales, operations, and of course, customer support.
That sounds pretty awesome. Can you talk a little bit about what actually makes you special?
To handle conversations in an intelligent and hallucination-proof way.
So now you have a phone number, you provide the potential employer with the phone number, the name of the person, and you say, go ahead and call this person for a reference. And but there's a good chance that you'll get caught, and there's a good chance that this agent will at some point say, as a large language AI model, whatever, or it will say, I hope this finds you well, or it creates a tapestry, or it does some kind of bullet point thing. And so there is a really big risk here that you will get caught, and then that speaks to your integrity as a candidate, and you probably will not get the job. However, if you manage to make this thing work, you could probably get a job doing anything, really. There's no stopping the amount of BS you can create, and these AI agents will back you up. If you do not have any humans in your life, or your former employer was super toxic and you don't want to get them involved, maybe try this, but also maybe tell them that this... I don't know how you can pull this off, but if you're able to pull this off, if anyone is able to pull this off, don't put it in the comments. Don't tell me about it. In fact, shush, because that would give it away.